It's hard to stress just how important a good intake form is for your business. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Google Forms to create a custom lead intake form and have it sync directly with your CRM system. So whether you use HubSpot CRM, Pipedrive, Crmble, Zoho CRM, or a number of other tools, you can have that information directly input into your system. Hello everyone, Scott Friesen here at Simpletivity, helping you to get more done and enjoy less stress. So in this example, I'm pretending that I'm a commercial bakery and I'm wanting other smaller bakeries to fill in a form so I can sell them baked goods in large quantities. And I've titled this form, Let's Get Started. This is something that I'm going to either link to or embed directly on my website, or maybe I'll send it to them via email or however they first get in contact with me. Now, a couple of key things to keep in mind with creating a great intake form. Number one, try to keep it relatively short. In my example here, I've kept it to only 5 questions. The longer your intake form is, the less likely that people will fill it in at all or fill in many of those fields. And tip number 2, be very specific with which fields are required and which are not. You can see that my first 3 questions of name, email, and phone number are all required. And within Google Forms, all you need to do is make sure that the required slider is over. But I haven't made the last 2 questions required because even if they don't tell me what they are looking for, even if they don't add any additional comments, I at least have their contact information so I can reach out to them. Lastly, you're going to want to make sure that at least one of your questions is asking something very specific. In my example here, I'm asking them which product or products they are wanting to distribute. And I've given them 4 options: cakes, pies, muffins, and cookies. When it comes to your business, it may be what type of service or other products are they seeking? What kind of help are they looking for? This helps you greatly so that when you reach out to them, you already have an idea of what they are looking for. Lastly, finishing up here within Google Forms, we want to come up to settings. And there's 2 I want you to take particular attention to. Number 1, when it comes to responses, make sure that you have limit to 1 response turned off. You want your customers and potential customers to come back here as often as needed. You certainly do not want them to require to sign into their Google account. And under presentation, I also recommend that you come down to the confirmation message and add something a little more custom. By default, Google Forms is going to say something like, "Thanks for submitting this form." But in this case, I want to make sure that they know I'm going to get back to them with a quote within the next 48 hours. The last thing that we need to do when it comes to Google Forms before we jump into our CRM system is come up here to responses. And in the top right-hand corner, you will see this Google Sheets icon. By clicking on this icon, it is going to create a Google Sheet for you. This is actually what your CRM system is going to be looking at when it comes to sending information over. You can always come in here and review the data yourself, but this is exactly what we are going to be syncing with our CRM tool. Now that we have everything set up within our Google form, let's jump into our CRM system. Now for this example, I'm using Crmble, C-R-M-B-L-E. And within your CRM system, things may look a little bit different, but essentially the steps are exactly the same. First things first, we're going to want to look at our integrations. Now here within Crmble, they refer to them as toppings. And under those integrations, you're going to want to look for something that says Google Forms or Intake Form Sync, something where you can set up these settings. Here, I'm going to select on Google Forms, and it's going to open up a screen where I have an opportunity to link my account. I've already done so, but you may be prompted to link your Google account wherever you created that Google form you're going to need to link that account to your CRM. Since I've already done so, the very next step is to add a new Google form. And the good news is that you can usually create multiple forms that will sync with your CRM system. So I'm going to select this option here. I'm going to choose the correct account because maybe I've synced multiple accounts. I'm going to select this account. Now that I've selected that, I can select the specific Google form spreadsheet. Remember, we're not actually linking it to the form, we're linking it to the spreadsheet where the form is displaying those results. I can see all of the form spreadsheets for that particular account, but the one that we want is the one at the very top, CRM intake form. The last step is going to ask us if we want to select a specific sheet in that form, because you may have different sheets or multiple sheets within a single form. We only have the one, so I just need to select Form Responses 1. And with that, now we move on to the step of mapping where those fields will end up within our CRM system. So here under card details, this is where we have the opportunity to match those different columns and those different questions to fields within our CRM. So when it comes to the name of my card, when it comes to the name of the deal, I want it to be the name of the customer. So here you can see not only the 5 questions, but it's also included the timestamp, which we're going to add a little later on. So I want the name of my deal to be the name of the customer. And under the card description, I'm going to add 2 different things. First, I want to add if they answer that question about which products they're interested in. I want that to be displayed here. And I also want their comments to be displayed here as well. Remember, these are not required, so maybe not every single submission will have them, but if they do, they'll show up here in the description. Keep in mind, you don't need to map everything. We only have a possible 6 items for us to map in this particular example, so you only need to map the things you need. Next up, we have our contact fields, and these are perhaps the most important. So name, yes, we want to match with our name. We want to match the phone number with the phone number, and we want to match the email with the email so that I have all of that information here within my CRM. And in this case, the only other thing I'm going to add is down under the deal fields, where under creation date, I want that to be tied to the timestamp. So when that form was submitted is going to be the creation date here within my form. With everything mapped the way I want, all I need to do is come down here and select Update. And now my form is ready to go. So let's go ahead and fill in a sample form and see how it is displayed right here within my CRM. So here is how my Google form will look like to my potential customers. So let's get started. I'm going to enter in a name. I'm going to say that we are filling this in for Wendy Baker's field. That sounds like a bit of a baker's name. And we're going to enter in Wendy's email address here. I'm going to say that that is her email address. Phone number 555. And then what products are we wanting to distribute? Well, let's say in this case, we're interested in cakes and cookies. So I'm going to tick off both of those boxes. And down below, maybe I'm going to say I need 100 of each before February 1st. Last but not least, I'm going to hit submit, and there is my custom message so that the potential customer can feel confident that I've received it and will respond in a timely manner. Now jumping back into my Crmble CRM system, under my very first stage called New Deals, here you can see at the bottom, we have Wendy Bakersfield. And it's even telling me on the front of the card that the source is Google Forms. I'm going to open up this card and we're going to see all of those details that were just submitted via the form. So right away, under the description, we have cakes and cookies, and we have her comments. I need 100 of each before February the 1st. But perhaps most importantly, I have all of her contact information right here. Her full name, her work number, and her email all available to me at the click of a button. And the great thing about Crmble and most CRM systems is that you can email them directly from here. More on that in just a moment. Now, down below here you can see we also have our source, Google Forms, and the creation date, which is based on when they submitted that form. Now that we have all of this valuable information, which was submitted through the form, we can update this entry with other details. So for example, Wendy has told me exactly what she is looking for and also the quantity. So I want to be able to quickly and easily generate a quote for her. Well, under products, I can click on my products and start to add these items to build out that quote. So for example, I'm going to say that she is looking for a cake. I'm going to add that as an item. I'm also going to update the quantity. She's looking for 100. I'm going to hit save, but she's also looking for cookies as well. So I'm going to add that item here. Let me select cookie as the other product, and let me update the quantity, also wanting 100, and save. Now, here within my CRM system, I have a total, just a little over $2,200. So I can update the deal value, which is going to update this entire entry. And now I have this at my fingertips, so I can reference it, I can report on it, I can project what my earnings will be at the end of this month. But I can also send this quote directly to the customer. Here, all I need to do is click on this Gmail icon, and now I can input that information and email it directly to Wendy without having to leave my CRM. One other bonus of using a CRM tool such as Crmble is that not only can you manage all of your products and services right here within the CRM system, but you can also add multiple contacts. So for example, maybe I'm used to dealing with Wendy's husband, but Wendy was the one who submitted this request, even though I know I could reach out and communicate with either of them. So what I'm going to do is select this Add Contact option here. And in this case, I believe his name is John. That's right, John Bakersfield. So I'm going to add John to this entry as well. So I can keep him in the loop. If I don't get in touch with one of them, I can always reach out to the other, and I can have their contact information available to me immediately. Now, if you're looking for an easy-to-use CRM system that integrates seamlessly with Google Forms and Gmail, be sure to check out Crmble at crmble.com or click the link in the description down below. And if you're really wanting to customize your Google Forms and make them look amazing, be sure to watch this video next. Remember, being productive does not need to be difficult. In fact, it's very simple.